What's up guys, and after all that thing happened with Huawei, it seems like Huawei is about to do something weird, but of course good to stay alive. If you guys don't know, so recently United States has made almost impossible for Huawei to get their current chipset. Last year when Google banned Huawei, there was also a news that ARM has also cut their ties with Huawei, which we all considered a big blow because Google provides software support to Huawei, but ARM provides the cores inside a chipset. But then ARM confirmed that there is no US originated technology involved in the matter of doing business with Huawei, so they're still working with their customer Huawei. But now Trump has played its A card by tightening the export rules, meaning it is now up to US government to decide whether or not Huawei can receive cutting-edge chips from foundries like TSMC. As we know, Huawei uses their current chipset in all their smartphones compared to Qualcomm and Samsung's Exynos processor. Huawei designed their chips itself, but they don't have enough resources. Qualcomm also designed their chips by itself, but they both need TSMC, aka Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, to fabricate their processors, and this is where Trump's new export rules comes in. The new export rule change requires that any foundry shipping chips made using US technology obtain a license before shipping components to Huawei. The US is allowing Huawei to take possessions of any chips produced from wafers currently in production as long as they are shipped no later than September 14th, which means Huawei is allowed to secure enough 5nm current 1020 chipsets for the Mate 40 lineup, which is expected to launch later this year. But what happens in 2021 when Huawei needs 5nm chips for the P50 series? The company has already turned over some of its business to China's largest foundry SMIC, but the most cutting edge chip that SMIC can produce at the moment uses the 14nm process node. Recently, Huawei announced its first SMIC manufactured chip, the mid-range Kirin 710A. SMIC is said to be working on the 7nm and 8nm process nodes, but has been hamstrung by the lack of advanced lithography equipment. This is the gear used to mark up wafers to determine the placement of transistors. For SMIC to get down to breakthrough 5nm, it is going to need two things: time and advanced lithography equipment. So SMIC is out as far as 2021 is concerned, but Huawei has other options. According to Barron's KeyBank Capital Markets analyst John Wynn says that Qualcomm will end up supplying its Snapdragon chipsets to Huawei for the P50 and Mate 50 devices next year. The San Diego-based chip designer would need to apply for a license from the Commerce Department Bureau of Industry and Security. Wynn believes that such a request would be granted and that Qualcomm would enter into a patent license agreement with Huawei. The million-dollar question here is, why would the US grant a license to Qualcomm to sell its chips to Huawei? The KeyBank analyst has an answer. He says many of the restrictions put in place against Huawei are designed to protect national security threats posed by 5G communications infrastructure and military applications. But they don't believe consumer smartphone devices is the actual target of US. And another thing here is that Qualcomm is also an American company, so giving Qualcomm a license would benefit the country. And if all of a sudden Qualcomm will end up getting a license to do business with Huawei, then why not Google? Google is also an American company, and I personally think after Qualcomm, Google could also get a license to work with Huawei and everything will get quite normal as it was before. But then again, Huawei has definitely lost its freedom in favor of stay alive. So let me know, would you consider buying a Huawei phone with Qualcomm powered chipset? And if Google really get a license, then is this okay for Huawei, or they should still working on Harmony OS based applications behind the scenes? Do let me know what you guys think on this, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.